Hi everybody, it's Guild Ball week here on Base of War, and we have some fantastic prizes to give away. So we have 3 copies of the Guild Ball Kickoff set to give away. That's the Brewers and the Masons, one of the perfect ways to get you and a mate into the game. Now, for your chance to win, get your comments in on any of the Guild Ball content this week on Base of War, YouTube or Facebook. Winners will be announced in a future episode of The Weekender, so stay tuned. Everybody, it's time for another look at one of the factions of Guild Ball. Today it's the Masons. This is one of the ones that comes in the kickoff set, yeah?
It is, yes. Yeah.
So what are the Masons trying to do in the world, just while I bring up the artwork for them here?
Well, the Masons have actually won the league and the championship twice in a row now. So they are on the up and up and really at the peak of their game currently in the world of Guild Ball.
Yeah. There isn't really per se a good guy faction. Like everyone's got their own interest and their own, like there's better guys and worse guys, rather than good guys and bad guys. But the Masons are one of the they're almost the good guy guild.
They're very honourable in what they do.
Yeah, and they don't really tend to mess with their opponent a lot. They focus a lot on buffing each other and sort of protecting each other.
Yeah.
So they still have their own interests. They still have political things, but they are one of the morally better factions.
Okay, I think that's the best way to describe it. Morally better.
Yes.
Not morally perfect.
No, of course not.
By no means.
All right, well, what's sort of the playstyle that they normally run with? Just while we show off a couple of minis here.
Well, they can be really sort of geared towards whatever they want to do in a game. They are potentially one of the most flexible guilds out there.
I would say definitely
the
most flexible,
yeah. They will bring the right tools to the job. If they're against the butchers, then
those puns
got it in.
They're everywhere.
If they're against the butchers, they'll play a scoring game. If they're against the fishermen, they'll play a fighting game. They're not going to try and outdo what you do. They'll just do something else and do it better.
They have, they're very jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Cool. They have the most, I would say definitely the most flexible sort of team composition, and the most guild with the ability to sort of halfway through a plan, something goes wrong or something happens, and you're like halfway through a turn, you're like, oh, I need to switch this. Yeah. They're the guild that can do that most.
Yeah.
They have the most sort of ability to switch things on the fly.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a quick cycle through some of the characters. So who do we have here?
This is Chisel. She is a really good damage dealer, and if you're hurting her, she's going to hurt you back. Yeah. Like she enjoys being at that sort of low level of health, where she really sort of starts to shine when she's been hurt. It's a bit of a weird play style, but
okay, interesting. Next up, big guy. Who's the big guy?
So this is Brick. And he is very much...
is that the foundation of the team?
Yeah, he's the foundation. To use the house sort of metaphor, he is definitely the foundation of the team. He is the big lad, stands at the back. If anyone else gets engaged, he has a role called Counter Charge, where outside of his activation, if an enemy model moves close, he can just immediately charge them. I'd be like, no, get away from my friends. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a nice ability to have and be able to throw out there.
Yeah.
Is this a mascot?
This is a mascot. It's called Wrecker.
Wrecker. And
armadillo?
It is, yeah.
Well it's a big armadillo.
Giant armadillo.
Armored armadillo.
Yeah.
They're known as Rolandos in the world of Guild Ball, as they sort of roll around and are very annoying.
Yeah.
So on the pitch, you'll often hear him called Rolando rather than Wrecker.
Yeah.
That's what they're...
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
It's a cool looking little guy. Does he have any cool abilities that he can use on the pitch?
So he can actually roll up into a ball and just go rolling around, knocking players out of position, giving them 2-inch pushes. And he's also, when he rolls up like the ball, if he goes and engages somebody, they need to spend an additional influence to make a kick action as they kick him rather than the ball.
And break their foot.
Yeah, in the meantime.
Yeah.
Lovely.
He's really cool. He's really interesting, wee guy. Like.
Yeah. Moving along, I believe this is Honor?
Yes, this is the Mason's first captain. So she's often called the First Lady of Guild Ball. She is the very responsible for what the Masons are today, which is a very tightly drilled, cooperative team that works together in order to achieve their objectives. She sort of instilled them in the sense of that, like, you care for your teammates and your teammates care for you, and that is the best way to win. And she drills them mercilessly, and she gets the most out of them. She's really cool.
Now, speaking of getting the most out of your players, I believe this should be her sister?
Yes.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Who can actually steal some of her stats over from the kickoff chat we had.
So Harmony they have a role called Family, And so they actually have a couple of rules that sync up, but if Harmony activates close to Honor, she can use Honor's kick and attack values in place of her own. So she basically gets inspired by her sister and gets a lot better at kicking and fighting. But they also have a rule called Linked, which is really cool, because this is one of the other things about the Masons, is part of their ability to adjust on the fly, is that they kind of get to cheat a little bit.
Okay.
So Honor and Harmony, Honor has a rule called Linked, that whenever Honor ends her activation, normally the opponent would take an activation, but Harmony can immediately go. So you can set up a real like kind of 1-2 touch, one touch.
So if I had the ball on Honor,
yep.
my last activation is to actually kick it to Harmony.
Yep.
She can just go and actually maybe run and score.
Yes, exactly. So sort of one of the sort of common strategies you see them doing is that either Honor will kill somebody or knock someone out, and then pass the ball off to Harmony. Harmony instantly goes and scores to get 6 VPs, which really pushes you up to your,
you're halfway home.
Halfway there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you really need one person taken out, Honor will go do a ton of damage. Harmony will then instantly go in and sort of wombo combo, just take them both out.
This sounds horrendous.
Yeah. The other thing that Honor can do is, so normally in a game you've got 6 models, they each activate once in a turn. Honor has a rule called Superior Strategy, which is she is a very skilled tactician, and she can let one of her friendly models activate again. So they can activate it for a second time.
That could be really sneaky.
It's very, very strong.
And it's a full activation of the game, so they would get their advance action and their whatever momentum
influence.
Influence. So they keep, if you, for example, end an activation on 2 influence, Superior Strategy actually gives you another one. So then on your second activation, you would have 3 influence, and you just have another activation.
That's actually impressive, because
very strong. Yeah.
If you really want it, you could have Harmony go. Have Honor go. Have Honor use her
Superior Strategy.
Yeah.
And then just on Harmony, and then go right. Harmony, go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instantly go again.
Yeah.
It means like players like Harmony or any player really can really sort of fly up the pitch unseen. If you go right, I'll give her 1 influence, sprint up to here.
Yeah.
Later on in the turn, Superior Strategy them again.
Yeah.
And I'll jog and make my kick with that 1 influence that you potentially didn't see coming.
Yeah. You thought, oh, that's activated. I don't need to worry about that ball carrier just this minute.
Yeah. Because it's already activated. It's done. I don't need to. I don't need to pay attention. I can leave that. I can leave that for a couple of activations.
Yeah.
And then bang, they've scored a goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Next character, still a Mason, I believe. So this is who?
This is Hammer. So he's the Season 2 captain for the Masons, and he is a superstar solo player.
Yeah.
He will use his sort of thing is that he uses his friendly model's influence to use his character plays, meaning he's really efficient, and so he'll like take 1 influence to go faster, take 1 influence to hit harder, and then run in with his own influence and just beat like a truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he basically he just screams at his teammates to help him out, so they give up their influence to make him better.
Fair enough. I think one of my favourites that I've seen out of this is one of the other mascots for the Masons, and this is Marbles, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
So what does Marbles do?
So Marbles is he's a lovable creature. If he gets hurt, the rest of the guild fight harder to protect him. And he also has a great synergy with Honor, where if he is engaging the model that Honor's hitting, Honor gets better at fighting. She gets +1 attack and +1 damage. So you can that puts Honor at 8 dice basic, and she's got a very reliable damage output.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Something else about the Masons actually is that generally momentum is a very powerful resource.
Yeah.
And the most common way of generating momentum is on playbooks. And most models have their momentum spread out all over their playbooks.
Yeah.
With the Masons, all of their momentum results tend to be on the lower end.
Right.
So that means they can generate momentum very reliably, and it means that those kind of results that like you really want to be getting reliably, they're always momentous for them.
Nice.
So that's really cool. So like it means they don't benefit as much from spikes, because if you spike high, you're like, well, I can do more damage, but I'm not going to get momentum, so I'm just going to take the solid, reliable play, which represents the Masons. They build the solid foundation, and then you build from there.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a really, really great faction. Sounds like a nice beginner-friendly faction. I will say that. Tell you what, guys, drop your comments in below. Tell us, is it the Masons for you? Is it one of the other factions? Do you already play them? Do you have any tips, tricks, and tactics for the other people out there in the community? Get your comments in below. We will move on, and we will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying this themed week. Make sure you don't miss any of it by checking out the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to ding our dong so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, come across and join us on beastsofwar.com for more great gaming content and a fantastic community. Also, get your comments in for your chance to win.